go. Hi, Will here, and I'd like to share with you my 5 tips for using media in the classroom. This media can be either found footage or footage that you have created yourself. If you're unsure what found footage versus created footage is, make sure you check out my other video, which there should be a link in the description right below. You can check that out there. All right, so tip number 1, make sure that whoever is presenting the information in the media is clearly speaking. So that means anything they're saying can be heard. This is crucial for student learning because if they're unable to process the information because the speaker's talking too fast and then they just kind of get lost and they start tuning it out because other things are interesting because they're not able to understand the information, then what's going to happen is that it's not going to make an impact on them. It's not going to be beneficial for them, and it's not going to be beneficial for you either. So make sure that you can clearly understand what is being said in the video given to your class. If you are showing a video that has a non-native English speaker, make sure that closed captions or subtitles are available to turn on. That will greatly impact your students' focus because they'll also spend more time trying to read the closed captionings underneath, but it will also make sure that they are getting the full effect of what is being said. Number 2, does it use animations versus static images? And this is a very important thing. See, there was a study done in, I believe it was 2009, that showed that students who were given an animation scored lower than students who were given a static image. And the reason for this is very interesting. See, as students see an animated image, what happens is they don't actually use their brain because the image is doing all the work for them. Instead, a static image allows students to visualize and process the information and be able to create what's going to happen by looking at it. And that's going to make more of an impact. Tip number 3, does it have text along with speaking? See, this one is very interesting to me. If you have text, like over here while a person is speaking, students are going to get confused because they're going to start focusing on just the bullet-pointed text instead of what is actually being said. Now, depending on what you would like them to take away from the video, that's important to know. If you would like them to only focus on the text that would be in the video itself, then perfect. If you want them to be focusing on the speaker, then make sure that there's not a lot of text in the way. Tip number 4, does it meet all of your objectives? Sometimes videos are very tempting to play. Sometimes they're even tempting to create as well because we think it's going to be awesome for our students to watch us on YouTube. But you have to make sure that whatever something or unteach something or teach something else that wasn't covered, but it still needs to meet those learning objectives. So make sure that media, whatever you're using, does meet all of your objectives. And then finally, tip number 5 for you, is it at an appropriate knowledge level or an appropriate age level for them? This one I have a lot of experience with. I love PBS Idea Channel. I think it is great for developing discussions and thought within your class, but if you play it for someone like 6th graders as opposed to 8th graders, they're not going to be understanding as much content in there. And that also goes for if you're playing it in high school. You want to make sure that content that they maybe have never heard of or it's using words they've never heard of, then it's not going to be beneficial for them and again for you. All right, hopefully you have found these 5 tips helpful and perhaps you can use them within your classroom. Make sure you give this video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe below. If you have any questions, also, drop those in the comments section. I love questions. I love answering those. Well, as always, thanks for watching.